Hello friends, you are watching Physiology Made Easy. Friends, we will try to understand hemopoietic system in detail through this video series. If you like the video, please hit the like button. Kindly subscribe the channel and also press the bell icon to receive all notifications regarding more such informational videos. This is the third video in this video series. If you haven't watched the previous videos in hemopoietic system, links are provided in the description below. This video is regarding red blood cells. They are also known as erythrocytes and they form a major cellular component of blood. In this video, we will cover some important topics regarding red blood cells, such as their morphological characteristics, their count in blood, their physiological variations, their properties, and their functions. So let's consider the morphological characteristics of RBCs. These are biconcave, disc-shaped, anuclear cells which are red in color. They are approximately 7.2 microns in diameter. When judging the size of the RBC, the classic rule of thumb is to compare them to the nucleus of small normal lymphocyte. Both have almost the same size. Thickness in the periphery is 2 microns, whereas in the center it is 1 micron. Surface area of RBCs is about 120 to 140 square microns and volume is about 90 to 95 cubic microns. Now let us consider some of the terms related to morphology of RBCs. Normocytic. This term is used to describe RBCs of normal size. Macrocytic. It is used for the RBCs that are larger than normal, and microcytic. It is used for the RBCs which are smaller than normal. Next term is normochromic. Here chrome means color. As you all know, red color of the RBCs, it is due to the pigment hemoglobin. When RBCs have normal color, that is, in other words, if hemoglobin concentration inside the RBCs is normal, they are termed as normochromic. If the hemoglobin concentration inside them is less than normal, they are termed as hypochromic. Next is their count in blood. Average count in males is about 5.2 millions per mm cube, whereas in females it is about 4.7 millions per mm cube. If the number of RBCs is more than the normal, it can be termed as polycythemia, and if the number of RBCs is less than normal, it is termed as anemia. Next are the physiological variations in RBC count. First one is age. At birth, RBC count is about 7 millions per mm cube. After about 10 days of birth, the count decreases due to destruction of RBCs. This is the cause of physiological jaundice of newborn. In infant, RBC count is slightly more than in adults. Next is sex. RBC count in adult females, it is lower than that of in adult males. Next is high altitude. People residing in high altitude areas have high RBC count. It is because of the hypoxic stimulation of erythropoiesis. Next is muscular exercise. It is because of mild hypoxia and splenic contraction. In muscular exercise, the RBC count increases. Increased sympathetic activity in exercise causes contraction of the spleen. Stored RBCs in spleen get into circulation after contraction, which increases the number of RBCs in blood. Next are emotional conditions like anxiety, in which RBC count increases because of sympathetic activity as mentioned above. After meals, RBC count is raised slightly. Next, during sleep, RBC count slightly decreases. And lastly, during pregnancy, in which RBC count decreases due to hemodilution. Next are the properties of red blood cells. Red blood cells are red in color due to the red pigment hemoglobin. Next, RBCs are non-nucleated. Mature RBCs don't have nucleus. It is an adaptation of the RBCs for their specific role in body. Absence of nucleus allows RBCs to contain more amount of hemoglobin and therefore they can carry more oxygen. It also allows them to have their distinctive biconcave shape, which aids diffusion of gases. Next is packed cell volume. It is the ratio of volume of red blood cells to the total volume of blood. It is about 45%. Next, specific gravity of RBCs is 1.092 to 1.101. Next is deformability. It refers to the ability of the RBCs to change their shape without rupturing. RBC behaves like a bag that can be deformed into almost any shape. This property helps them to squeeze through the smallest capillaries. Next is Rolex formation. When blood is taken out of blood vessel, RBCs pile up one above another like the pile of coins. This property of RBCs is called Rolex formation. It is accelerated by the presence of globulin and fibrinogen. Next is suspension stability. It is the property of the RBCs to remain uniformly suspended throughout the blood during circulation. Next are the functions of RBCs. RBCs transport oxygen from lungs to tissues. Hemoglobin in the RBCs combine with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. About 97% of oxygen transport occurs through this. They also transport carbon dioxide from tissues to lungs. Hemoglobin within the RBCs combine with carbon dioxide to form carb hemoglobin. About 30% of carbon dioxide transport occurs through this way. Hemoglobin inside the RBCs act as a good buffer, which plays a major role in maintenance of acid-base balance. And lastly, RBCs carry blood group antigens such as antigen A, antigen B or Rh factor. This helps in determination of blood group. So this concludes the first part of this video regarding red blood cells. In second part of this video, we will cover erythropoiesis as well as physiological destruction of the RBCs. Thank you very much.